Hey everyone, Brian Bearable Traders here. It is Sunday, December 13th, and it's evening. Hope everyone's had a great weekend. We're 12 days away to Christmas and a little more than 2 weeks away to the end of the year. It's amazing. 2020 come and gone. Really happy to see 2020 go the way it's gone so far. But anyway, let's get right into it. This is where we review the past week price action on the markets and we look ahead to the coming week. Now, of course, this is Santa time, and of course, everybody knows about the Santa Claus rally that usually happens this time of year, and it looks like we're going to probably rally into the end of the year here. This is what usually happens, and after that, all bets are off. Usually January, February aren't as good, but I think we're going to continue strong for the next week or two, yeah, let's start diving down here. So let's start with the transports. Like to look at that, obviously, because they can be an indicator of where the markets are going, particularly the Dow. And you can see here we're again, we're just kind of churning water here in the last week or so, off a little bit on the week or on the day, but weekly again, really it's been quite the run from the March lows and up into record territory. We were off, 0.5% on the week. It's a little bit of topping action there. We are getting a little bit overbought. Again, kind of see here we are still pretty overbought, so not surprising. Did a little bit of a pullback this week. The Dow on the daily, let's skip ahead to the weekly, see what things look like here. Again, pretty monstrous run with this little pullback on the way up. A few pullbacks as we got up to record levels, and again, just getting a little bit overbought here, and probably just gonna maybe turn sideways and keep maybe trying to bump our head here on that record high. And the Qs, again, a bit of a pullback this week. Inside, a bit of an inside week there. But again, sort of same story. Volume picking up a little bit on the sell side. Stochastic still strong. RSI rolling over a little bit. Again, I don't really see a big sell-off on any of the indexes. I see maybe we're going to hold some of these levels, maybe rally a little bit more. The SPY again pulled back on the last couple days. Again, on the week we are down about 1%. Not a big deal, and again, I don't see a big sell-off coming, particularly into this final couple weeks of the year. Maybe something will come in January, but right now we're just Santa Claus mode, and obviously still waiting for some stimulus, of course, some stimulus money. The IWM, a bit of an inside day Friday. Let's see the week. The week, actually, this is the proverbial recovery trade, because the small caps do best in recovery mode, economic recovery mode. And you can see here we had a really good week. We were actually up 1% on the week on the IWM, the only index that actually looked like it finished up on the week. And again, not bad volume. Stochastics really strong. RSI getting a little overbought. But yeah, the IWM still looking great. The TLT, these are this is an indicator of where bond prices are. So you can see here we've had a bit of a bounce off the bottom. Bond prices coming up means yields are dropping, but this we're getting into some moving averages here, and I believe the bond prices are down a little bit today, this evening, which means yields are starting to come back up again. So we like to keep an eye on that, because that might impact the financials. Of course, yeah, when the yields go up, financials tend to do better. Bond prices drop. And that's the 10-year Treasury yield. You can see here we're sort of chopping around this moving average right now, and we'll see where we go. This week, but it doesn't look like we're trying to get up through this 1%. I think we're probably gonna rally through there, through this 1%, which will bode well for the banks in the longer term. So yeah, right now we're still we're looking for that 1% breakout. So it'll be interesting to see which way things go here. The dollar really sold off. I mentioned when we got down here we were probably due for a bounce, and of course we did get that, and we filled the gap here. This gap down, and dollar's still not looking very strong on a 4-hour chart. I was looking at that. And we may start to roll over again here. So what does that mean? Commodity prices will do well. So in theory, oil should strengthen some of the agricultures. Gold and silver, although gold's not been behaving exactly the way it should. Sometimes you get that diversion of correlation, and right now gold's not behaving all that well. Again, gold doesn't do well this time of year. We usually wait till January, February. Gold tends to do a lot better, gold and silver. So we'll see what happens this week, but gold and silver, we'll get into that in a minute. So let's quickly look at the sectors, see how they've done, and see where we're going next week. Again, SPY kind of holding this, the SPX kind of holding this moving average here. Consumer discretionary holding this moving average. All these stocks seem to be holding this 50 moving average. The communications, the technology looks like a bounce. Industrials holding. Pretty much everything. Energy's had a really nice run after we had back here. I kept mentioning what an ugly chart it was. It did manage to turn around. We had that sell-off, higher low, almost probably a bit of a, can't see the whole chart here, probably an inverse head and shoulders. So we had the shoulder of the head, the other shoulder, and then the breakout. So we've had a really nice run here on energy. I think natural gas is up tonight fairly significantly. Oil might be up a little bit. Again, kind of a recovery trade. People getting back on the road, getting back on planes, starting to use more fossil fuels. And healthcare, fairly strong. Everything just basically kind of hanging on to the nines except for utilities and real estate. Now, what does that tell us? Basically, if in a rising interest rate environment, these ones that pay out these dividends tend not to do as well. So again, utilities really broke down here. Real estate not doing so well at all, the REITs. So again, financials has had a really nice run up with the interest rates popping up here, and we'll just see if we get a continuation move higher on that. So let's quickly take a look at some of the actives I've got going here. DBA, agriculture, again, I think with a weak dollar, a lot of the ag prices are going up. We did have a bit of a pullback on the DBA, but I'm still holding on to some, and I think they look like they've kind of held here and are going to turn higher. Stochastics are turning up here nicely, so that looks promising again. Holding some GDX here. We had a nice pop up. Now we're struggling. Again, this is not a great time for gold, silver. So I've got a small position on right now, but I think in the new year I'll probably do fairly well. This is my Canadian holding, HGU of, and again, similar, just gold hold. And X, this was one that we got in way back here. And we've had just a monster run on X. This has been an awesome trade. And we're starting to run out of a little steam here. We really got extended from a lot of these moving averages. And yeah, so we're getting a bit of a pullback here. But again, you know, infrastructure play looking good, I think. Let's take a look at what we got. Some of the stocks I've got on watch for this week. Okay, here we go. Dropbox. Dropbox was pretty hot on Friday. Rumors of buyout, and pretty extended here. Again, it might be in play on Monday when the market opens. Can't really see it as a swing trade, but watch it and it'll be in play. Again, watching GDX, already talked about that. JMIA is looking pretty strong. It looks like it might want to break out here to a new all-time high. If we can get on hold over 40, this does look like it's you know, definitely in an uptrend, and making some higher lows, higher low, higher low. So again, 40 seems to be resistance. RSI is looking a little bit overbought, but trending in the right direction. Stochastics looking good. JMI looks like Jemiah looks good. Been watching the electric vehicle stocks. They have not been trading well recently, and in day trading. They've you can see here kind of the volatility's gone out of them, particularly NEO. I'll just look at NEO, but you can see here RSI's trending lower, volume picking up to the downside, stochastics heading lower. When we get below 50 on the stochastics, rallies tend to get sold, so this is not looking very good for this EV trade. Nikola, of course, had lots of bad news in it, and we gapped down significantly. Could be a double bottom here, but the direction with the EVs are going right now, I'm not sure this would be a good trade, although, you know, you've got a level to trade off here right now. I would use 1750-ish. Right now we're at 1762, so your risk reward is good. If we do close below that 1750 level, that would be a play. Is probably going to head lower if we don't hold here, so I could give it a bit of room. OLMA, I was looking at that one as a possible short. You can see here it's peaked out here, sold off. Bit of a what I think is a bear flag, and we're probably going to head lower. Certainly if we can lose 42, we're probably going to head lower here on OLMA. PLTR, I've been playing this one as in the day trading room. Again, volatility is kind of running out of it. This is an indecision candle here, and you can see we've had a nice run up, pull back, and double top, but higher low here. And so we'll be keeping an eye on that. Certainly if we can, you know, break out above 29 and hold above 29, I think that could be an indication we are going to go higher on PLTR. Volume's dropping off a little bit here. Stochastics heading down, so just watching that to make sure it doesn't drop below 50. Silver again. Silver is also an industrial play as well as being the poor man's gold trade, so this is looking kind of, again, we're just chopping in a range right now. I think, again, January, February will probably be a good time for that. Space looking a little toppy here. If you're in it, I would take some profits. Me personally, that's just me. But you can see this is a pretty bearish candle here on Friday, and it looks like we may be heading lower. Definitely extended from some of the moving averages. Here's the third standard deviation Bollinger Band. You can see here we touched that, and that's pretty much where we rejected from. Stochastics rolling over. So yeah, I think space is looking a little bit exhausted here. TTFC, Tattooed Chef, love the name. Like the stock too, it's looking like it might want to head higher here. So we had a reversal of trend, and would have liked to have caught it back here. Didn't come up on a scan till now, but you can see here we've broken out of it. We've broken this trend. Now we're coming up to this moving average, but you know, a bit of a pullback on Monday. It might be worth buying to see if we can get up to, say, close to 20 would be a nice first target price. And you can see here stochastics rising, volume picking up on it, stochastics picking up, looking good, and MACD heading higher. So that one's looking pretty interesting. Workhorse, again, given the EV situation, I'm not sure if this is a play, but it certainly looks like it's trying to hold this sort of 21 level. It's a level to trade against, and RSI is starting to turn up. Stochastics are starting to bottom here, so Workhorse could be interesting. Could be an interesting long here. And I just want to close here with an idea I've got. And let's take a look quickly at some stocks that I've just jumped into. This is a hot sector trade. I'll attach a link to an article. There's a number of them, and you might have heard about them already. It's the use of psychedelics to treat PSTD. This is not a new story. This is a story that goes back to the 60s, I believe, when they started doing experiments with LSD and treating addictions and PSTD. They're having a lot of success with it, and then unfortunately it became a recreational drug. This is LSD, but and then it became illegal and put a stop to all the experimentation that was being done in treatments, which were turning out to actually be quite seemed to be quite helpful. So I think we're just getting back to this right now. And I think this is a hot sector trade that is just starting off. And so I've already jumped into some, and I've mentioned it in the day trading room. And you can see here, this is one that's an OTC stock. Again, I'm just throwing it up here because this is one that's already taken off. But you can see here, this is, again, this is to do with psychedelics and treating different drugs, whether you agree with that or not. It seems to be an area where it's kind of like the new hot sector that everybody's maybe money's going to rush into. Here's one I am in. I've mentioned this in the day trading room. I got in around 29. I was looking at it back here, and I'm regretting not getting into it. But I did get into it at 29. Has had a really nice run up. This is a Canadian stock. But there are others out there you can play this on. But again, be careful. These are highly speculative. And yeah, so again, but I think money is going to flow into these because this is just the new Bitcoin, the new marijuana trade, the new EV trade that we've had, and I like this one as well. So a little bit of a long-winded explanation of where I'm thinking about this, but that's kind of what I see coming down the pipe. So again, the hot sector trade, I talk about this in my book, How to Swing Trade, available on Amazon if you want to check it out. And that's it. So as usual, in the Bear Bull Trading Room, we will be starting the Bear Bull pre-market show, 8:30, live on YouTube as well. And if you want to join Narma Carlos there, you can listen to them go through some of the stocks in play, and then we'll be trading the market open at 9:30 if you're going to join us. Hopefully we'll see you there, and enjoy the rest of your weekend, whatever is left. We'll talk to you all in the morning, hopefully. Bye for now.